Hey everybody, it's Joric. Welcome back. I hope you're doing great wherever you are in the world. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. And even if you watch videos every once in a while, but you haven't subscribed, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It really helps me out. It helps definitely on the monetary end, but also getting more views and more people to see this content. I greatly appreciate it. And also, if you've seen my videos in the past, you've seen I have not been a fan of Lisbon's airport, specifically, sometimes Faro Airport, based upon customer service, the incredibly long lines in the summer, or when strike season hits in the customs immigration hall. And so I want to talk about this because many of you that fly to Europe, so I'm speaking specifically to North American people, you may not realize, because it doesn't come up very much here, let's say in the United States, where if there's delays or cancellations or problems, you may be entitled to compensation. And it says here, I'm going to put up this article for you to see it. It is looking at a third of, and that's just of what passengers report, experienced delays or cancellations at airports, specifically Lisbon, over the last year. And so those are just people that have complained, and often that number may be much higher because let's say if everyone is on the airplane and they're 3 hours late, that means everybody has a complaint that they could file, not just a third of the plane, the whole plane could. But not a lot of people know that there's laws in place for compensation, and there's certain criteria. But the biggest thing is to go through and to talk to your airline, and if you've had a delay or issues, and just go on the website and start researching, are you entitled to some sort of compensation? Now, I'm going to put up this compensation table here, and this was provided by Portugal News, and this is some information that kind of gives you the basics of what you could be getting in compensation based upon the delay, the departure time, arrival time, things of that nature. This is very important because there may be, and chances are, there's flights into Lisbon that you might have taken in the last couple of years that you might be entitled to some compensation. And until the making of this video, you had no idea. So it's important to contact your airlines and start researching to find out if you can be compensated. Now, I'm going to say this too, because I was looking at this and then I started, I knew about the rule for a few years now, but then I started going down some Reddit posts and some Facebook groups just to see what the feedback was. And virtually no one has tried to file for compensation. What's interesting is I came across two people, a whopping two people, that they had an 8-hour delay. So they, I believe, should have been compensated, I think, over 4, so that'd be 600 euros each, so 1,200 euros. And in lieu of getting money, they received credit or a voucher. So they received 600 euros in voucher or miles on that particular airline. So in both cases. So that is something that may happen, but it's something, whether it be the actual money or a voucher, just to show. I think the problem with this, though, is it's a great idea, is very few people file complaints or file for their compensation, whether it be cash or voucher. And so knowing this and being informed is huge, because more people, think of it this way, if all of a sudden TAP Portugal, which is a terrible airline, and several other airlines that are not very good, as well as ones that are good, all of a sudden get dinged several $1,000s or tens of thousands of dollars that they have to pay in compensation or vouchers for delayed flights, things of that nature, then that helps them create a situation where they don't want to have those delays. So getting the departure off sooner, figuring things out. Now, a lot of that stuff is out of their control. Air traffic control, what's going on in different countries or different states or provinces, you name it, a lot goes into it, just other than what the airline is responsible for. But Here, the airline is responsible to make sure that you get there in a reasonable amount of time. If not, you get money or a voucher. So it's really a public service announcement just to make sure that you are aware of this, so that as you are flying into Europe and around Europe, know your rights. And if something is within this criteria, file a complaint, get some money, get a voucher from it. Again, the more you do it, the more the airlines are going to need to find ways to comply within these constraints, instead of just willy-nilly and we'll take off and land whenever we want and people can deal with it. I mean, I've read where people have been stuck on the tarmac for hours, or in Europe, usually you don't go bridge to the plane, you go bus to plane, and people have sat on the airplane for hours where it didn't move, and they could be getting compensation, and they didn't even realize that for sitting in that park spot for 3 to 4 hours, they could be getting up to 600 euros per person or a voucher. So having information, the knowledge is power, and use it to your advantage. If you've been stuck someplace and you have received compensation or a voucher for it, please leave a comment below. I'd like to hear what the process is, if certain airlines are better at giving money or vouchers, or are equally terrible in disputing your claims. I'm curious to know what that is, and I'm sure the community would love to see that too. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and enjoy your travels.